The 8-year assault on your Second Amendment freedoms has come to a crashing end. I like taking the guns early. Take the guns first, go through due process second.
Well, I say go fuck yourself. Then ask a question, could I kill a man? I would enjoy myself. You can't disguise evil eyes that burn up my head. This devil man and his master plan. We feel so misled, so I say, rise up, take all back. Rise up, take it all back. Rise up. I hope you all understand. We got to take it all back again.
These people are not going to take it any longer. We will never give up. We will never concede. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. But go home and go home in peace. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. You do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
What's up, YouTube? How you doing? We got 4 people watching, nobody chatting, so I'm glad y'all are here. I've had a day, to put it lightly. So, got up this morning, no morning muster. Irish wasn't feeling up to it, which is totally understandable. He's got a lot of shit going on, so in no means am I ragging on him, but I enjoy the morning muster, so that didn't happen, which, it is what it is. It sucks. I haven't been feeling the greatest myself. Been kind of tired as of recent, and that's a little bit of my condition, I'm sure. Who knows? Anyway, get up after that and find out I have a strike on my channel for medical misinformation. You gotta love the medical misinformation. Apparently, maybe I need to have a big flashing banner on top or something that says, I am not a doctor. I am not providing medical advice. Since when did anybody ever get their medical advice from some guy on YouTube that wasn't a doctor, who has said they're not a doctor many, many, many times? So I go through this video looking for what they're talking about. And it's the one where I played Dr. Fauci's interview in 2019, which was on YouTube, talking about how to avoid getting infectious diseases by living a healthy lifestyle, right? Exercise, don't smoke, eat right. And that's going to help your immune system. And the guy had asked, well, what about mask in the interview? He's like, no, 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 no. That ain't going to do nothing. Right? So that's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing. I'm also not sure the keywords or the code words is helping anything at all either. Anyway, so I go ahead and I appealed that one. And then later on in the day I got another one. And I had already had 2 strikes before the day started. So how I got 2 strikes today and yet I'm still at 2, I don't know. It's good news, I guess. I haven't even fought the second one yet. I plan on it, but I just kind of got disheartened, especially with us doing the Patriot Bible chat. I really wanted that all to be on one channel. I tried to go over to Odyssey and see if I could link this YouTube account with Odyssey so that it would at least be on Odyssey. It's definitely going to be a pain in the ass. So in 2 weeks, if or whenever my strike gets released, unless I lose my channel, I will have to download the episodes of the Patriot Bible chat over here and then upload them over on the main channel because I do want them all in the same spot. I know we get probably 5 or 6 people in on the Patriot Bible chats every night, which is amazing. That's actually been killing it lately, and I've been really happy about it. How many of those people are subscribers of mine? I don't know because a lot of them don't really talk. So I would imagine there's probably 2 or 3 people that are watching the Patriot Bible chats that I don't know who they are, and that's okay, but at the same time, now we're moving over to this channel. Maybe they show up, maybe they don't. You ever have one of those days where you're just like, "Let me do anything but this shit." I almost decided not to do this today. I was thinking about it. I've actually been thinking about, whether I wanna continue or not quite a bit. I don't I don't know, man. It's a pretty little thing that I do. And I don't know if we have somebody trolling and flagging videos or if it's just or what it is, but yeah, it's coming in fast and heavy right now. Did I really slip up that much? I don't think I did. I kind of wonder. I have nothing to go on other than my own gut feeling like, yeah, somebody might be deciding to troll and flag videos, which it is what it is. But it's a lot of hassle to go through this. It's a lot of hassle to change the channel over to a different channel. It's a lot of hassle just to set up the evening catch up. It takes me probably 25 minutes. I could probably do it in 20 if I'm rushed. There have been times that I've done it in 20 when I was rushed, but I don't like doing that. And then I'm setting up 2 streams at the same time because we have the Patriot Bible chat after this. But it definitely makes you wonder. Like, I'm not getting paid. Right? It's something I do for a fun time. I get to hang out with y'all, which if you're here or not, I don't know. It's fun to hang out with the people that come to the show. I mean, I could be doing cooking videos, I guess. I have made some cooking videos. I just haven't edited them and uploaded them. And that's another thing. I got a lot of these things that I always think about doing and then never accomplish, especially with editing. I'm still working on the new intro. And every time I get a chance, like a few moments alone, I'm called away to do something else. So I haven't really been able to devote much time to the stream either. It's a good thing I'm going on this trip. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna step away. I might show up on the weekends here and there, and if Riddle's throwing something together, I'll probably join in the chat or whatever and have a good time there. But to not have to worry about it for a couple weeks, yeah, I think that's gonna be beneficial for me. Cool. All right. Now that whole thing is talked about, let's see if we can't get in trouble on this channel too. Swear I should start a cooking channel or something else. Maybe you know what would really be a pretty decent thing here on YouTube is reviewing products that you can get an affiliate link for. Right? And that's kind of what I did down below. I haven't made any review videos per se, right? But I have links down below to Amazon stuff. I don't know how long they'll be there cuz, eventually they're going to be like, "You're not selling enough." And I'm already fully expecting that. But let's say I made a video on this headlamp and I showed all the features of it and I showed it working and I did some really cool stuff and I made a really cool thumbnail, right? I could then have a review on this headlamp and then have the affiliate link for the headlamp down in the descriptions below. Like, hey, by the way, if you're going to buy this, check out the link in the descriptions. I got it right there for you and I get a little bit of kickback. You say that? I bet you that's a good way to make a little money on YouTube. But I'm not trying to make money on YouTube. Trying to with the stuff down below right now, those are things that I have bought and I've used and I recommend, I guess. I haven't really done, as I said, I haven't done a video on them, but I recommend them. They work for now. And if that changes, obviously I'd let y'all know. Anyway, I think that's a way that you could make a good amount of money. And I've had friends on YouTube that switch their entire channel content. And they don't have to deal with this shit. It's tempting. Really tempting. Anyway, Texas troopers help get control of the border as Biden administration sat by. Texas state troopers sent to the southern border by Governor Greg Abbott are the reason law enforcement has been able to get a handle on the escalating migrant crisis, according to state officials, who accuse Biden's administration of failing to do its job and secure the region. Abbott sent hundreds of Texas Department of Public Safety officers into the Rio Grande region as thousands of migrants from Haiti and Central America waded across the river to cross the country illegally. Their arrival immediately began to deter foot traffic across the river, according to the Washington Examiner. With our DPS troopers, there have not been any crossing from that specific area, Lieutenant Chris Alvarez spoke for the department's southern Texas region. The troopers' assistance in securing the border has been a much needed relief to Border Patrol agents who have been forced to spend all their time transporting migrants to and from holding facilities because of the sheer number of migrants entering the country. Literally, we could not have any semblance of control down here without DPS, Border Patrol agent John Affenstein said. DPS had thankfully come out here and helped us out dramatically. We literally could not control this or have even some semblance of control without DPS, National Guard, and other local stakeholders that are out there. I would imagine property owners. Meanwhile, several Biden administration officials have publicly disparaged law enforcement officials, including Border Patrol agents who have been working to deter illegal immigration. Of course they are. I would imagine they want as many illegal aliens coming through the border as possible. That's just my assumption, YouTube. I don't know why I have to spell that out every fucking time. I don't wear a mask. I don't think they work. That's my opinion. That shouldn't be your opinion because you should consult your doctor. You know, if you want to get a vaccine, go ahead and get a vaccine. I hear that a lot of people like them. I personally don't. I personally don't plan on getting one. And I personally don't recommend anybody getting them, but I'm not deterring them either because I am not a medical professional. Figure that out on your own and don't go on YouTube and watch some. Well, I know most people don't go onto YouTube for medical advice, but for some reason, YouTube thinks they do. White House Press Secretary Pasasky claimed the footage of agents on horseback chasing down Haitian migrants who were trying to escape into the U.S. was horrific, and said these agents do not represent the Biden administration. Well, I hope that's the case. I've seen the video. I can't imagine what scenario is where they would be appropriate. I'm certainly not suggesting that Psaki said during a press conference on Monday. Of course, they should never be able to do it again. I don't know what the circumstances would be. It's obviously horrific, the footage. Is the footage horrific? Where is it? Is this it here? I'm guessing. I'll just move this one over since it's kind of still the thing. Let me go to YouTube real quick. See if I can't. Horseback migrant. That's not it. Yeah. Immigrants also hangs about. Oh, this might be it.
The crisis on the U.S. southern border deepens tonight. Thousands of Haitian migrants who descended on the town of
Authorities stepped up their efforts to slow the flow of migrants to that part of the border. Agents on horseback with rope in hand aggressively confronted some migrants who were trying to make their way to the encampment.
They're
Photos
not
and
hitting
videos
them.
of the scene, as well as the
they
mass
grabbed them.
deportations, have led to intense backlash. The White House press secretary called the images horrific. Is it the president's stance or the White House's stance that whoever
all right.
agents are using what seems to be whips on migrants that they would be fired or at least never be able to do that again?
Of course they should never be able to do it again. I don't know what the circumstances would be. It's obviously horrific, the footage. I don't have any more information on it, so let me venture to do that, and we'll see if there's more to convey.
The U.S. has started deporting many of the migrants back to Haiti and other countries en masse. On Sunday, more than 300 deported migrants landed in the Haitian capital of Port-au-Prince.
I left Haiti to go find a better future because here in Haiti, all of us young people, despite finishing our studies, cannot get any work. We are on the streets with nothing. That is why there are many youngsters on the street. There are many criminals. It is because the authorities do not think about us.
Today, back in Del Rio, a DHS official said
as long
that
as
the
you
encampment
promise
there
to vote
has started to
Democrat
shrink. Mayorkas added that the agency is still working to ramp up deportation flights.
And we turn now to Yamiche at the White House, and Lisa Desjardins is here with me in the studio. So Yamiche, to you first. You have been covering.
Right,
Very angry and say President Biden promised Haitian Americans in particular when he was trying to win their votes, but Haitians
must be
overall
Democrats.
around the country, that he was going to treat people in a more dignified way than his predecessor, former President Trump. But there are a lot of people tonight saying these images prove that President Biden is not doing that and not keeping his word. Now, I should also note that there are human rights activists who say that sending people back into Haiti, a country that is facing so many crises, from gang violence to, of course, the aftermath of the assassination of the president and the aftermath of the earthquake, that it is simply not the right thing to do. One activist put it this way. She told me, sending people back into Haiti is like sending children into a burning house. That said, the Haitian government officially is saying we can take these folks, but the head of the Haitian National Migration Office, he said that he would like to see a pause in these deportations if possible. The White House, though, is saying that there's not going to be a pause, that this is what needs to happen, that these deportation flights will continue, and that people do not have the right to remain in the United States, even though there are a lot of people, including activists, who say that there is due process here and that these migrants should be allowed to be able to file for asylum in this country. But of course, under Title 42, which is a Trump-era rule, people are being sent back under the idea of a public health crisis and saying that the fact that the United States simply cannot absorb these people at the.
I don't think we can. At any time. We got way too many people here as it is. Why are we the nation's place, or the world's place where people go to? Improve your own shit. Marcus, I'm just gonna call him Marcus, horrified by falsely portrayed images from the border. Homeland Security Chief Alexandro said on Tuesday images of what appeared to be Border Patrol agents on horseback rounding up migrants trying to cross the southern border horrified him, but he stopped short of calling the new influx of migrants there a crisis. Some media outlets, liberal members of Congress, and the White House prompted a false narrative that agents were repelling border crossers with whips. Yeah, that looked like reins to me. Images of Haitian migrants being hit with whips and other forms of physical violence is completely unacceptable, said Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer on Tuesday. This behavior must be addressed and we must provide accountability. The images turn your stomach. It must be stopped, this kind of violence. Finish the wall. Betrayal of the images is a lie. A fact check from the National File explained that they were described as whips were actually horse reins used to control the animal, but also to keep threats away from them to prevent injuries, the site reported. Nonetheless, the gaslighting, Maracas told CNN, and any mistreatment or abuse of a migrant is unacceptable, and added, the pictures that I observed troubled me profoundly. But he wouldn't explicitly say whether they reflected mistreatment or abuse, deferring instead to a promised investigation that defies all of the values that we seek to instill in our people, Maracas said, adding that the department will address the situation with full force after the investigation is complete. The Office of Professional Responsibility is leading the investigation and will have personnel on the ground full-time monitoring the situation in the border town of Del Rio, which has seen an influx of thousands of Haitian migrants fleeing an unstable situation in their home country and attempting to enter the United States through Mexico. More than 6,000 Haitians and other migrants have been removed from an encampment in Del Rio, and Maracas predicted a dramatic change in the number of migrants there within the next 2 to 4 days as it continues to remove process. All right. The latest increase in migration at the border is just the latest example of a failure in border control policy by Biden. On CNN, Maracas declined to call the situation a crisis, saying that it's only a heartbreaking situation and a tremendous challenge. I by no means diminish the human issue that it presents, but I want to be clear that we do have a plan to address it. Okay. You got to love the plan, right? Because didn't Biden elect me and we'll be done with the sniffles so damn fast? Still here, Joe. Still here. Speaking from Del Rio on Monday, Maracas warned Haitians not to come to the U.S., noting that a temporary extension in protections from deportation for Haitians was extended through July 29th. Those protections no longer apply to new migrants. If you come to the United States illegally, you will be returned. Your journey will not succeed, and you will be endangering your life and your family's life, he said. Well, hope you said it loud and clear. What is this? County clerk, Dominion voting system, and Secretary of State deleted files. The clerk in Mesa County, Colorado, okay, that was Colorado, has claimed following the release of an 83-page forensic audit report that the Colorado Secretary of State, Jenna Griswold, and Dominion voting systems conspired to delete data from the 2020 presidential election. Mesa County Clerk and Recorder Tina Peters, a Republican, testified before the Mesa County Board of Commissioners on Friday, September 17th, that she believes they committed a serious crime. Behind my back and contrary to prior representations, these records were destroyed by the Secretary of State and the vendor, she said. The report found 28,989 deleted log files which contained essential data. Federal law mandates the preservation of log files. Peter says she believes that Griswold and Dominion destroyed election data to prevent any audit of the 2020 election, but she planned ahead. Ooh, did she now? But thanks to my arranging for a forensic image that the EMS servers just beforehand, those records are preserved, she said, noting her position obligations under federal and state law to preserve the county's records. Griswold and Dominion appear to have deleted Mesa County's election data in May on the pretext that they had to perform a system upgrade. A forensic audit states that Colorado should not have approved Mesa County's election results because the voting systems and procedures cannot meet the certification requirements of the state of Colorado and should not have been certified for use in the state. Peters said the Dominion election system prevents her from discharging the duties of her office and the requirements of law. Forensic audit also found that Griswold and Dominion likely destroyed data in counties across Colorado. Because similar system modifications were reportedly performed upon county election servers across the state, it is possible, if not likely, that such data destruction in violation of the state and federal law has occurred in numerous other counties, the report said. Neither Dominion nor Griswold have commented on the reported claim. Definitely going to get in trouble for that one. Illegals do not need proof of their vax because they are not intending to stay. What? The White House is defending its decision to not require migrants seeking access to the U.S. to show proof of shot status against the sniffles or a negative test, even though other foreign travelers, including U.S. citizens who go overseas, are still subject to international travel restrictions. So if you're visiting us from Japan or from England, you're going to have a sniffle card. But if you're coming from the southern border, it don't matter because they're not intending to stay. They're just visiting. Well, if I went to another country to visit, I wouldn't intend to stay either. When asked why only fully shotted international travelers were allowed to come to the U.S. while unshotted immigrants continue to flood into the country, White House Press Secretary Psaki claimed that the two groups don't compare. As individuals come across the border, they are both assessed for whether they have any symptoms. If they have symptoms, the intention is for them to be quarantined. That is our process, she said. Pressed again on whether this policy of the inconsistent with the administration's other travel restriction, Psaki claimed it is not because immigrants are not intending to stay here for a lengthy period of time. It's because they're not intending to stay here for a lengthy period of time. It's not the same thing, she added. Representative Lauren Boebert slammed Psaki, calling her comment bullcrap. Yeah, they're not planning to stay. They're just passing on through. They're probably going up to Canada. St. Louis officials now going after the McCloskey's law license. They won't stop. There's not going to ever be an end to this. How many more petitions are we going to sign? How many more times are you going to hear your favorite gun tuber say, warning, we need action now. We need you to sign this letter to the ATF or to the FBI or to the NRA or whoever the fuck it is to encourage them not to go ahead and make something illegal that was perfectly legal just a week ago. How many more times? They're not going to stop. And if they want to go after you, if they have a personal vendetta against you, they definitely won't stop. The McCloskeys, they're going to either make out like bandits or most likely they will be penniless because they are trying to destroy these people's lives because they have a personal vendetta against them. Makes me remember the story from last night's Bible chat. We're talking about the dingo ate my baby. Mark and Patricia McCloskey, the St. Louis couple who brandished firearms to confront a group of marauders who paraded past their home in a private community last summer, now face the threat of losing their law license. Missouri Governor Mark Parson pardoned the McCloskeys of all charges after a judge kicked George Soros-funded prosecutor Kim Gardner and her staff off the case for initiating a criminal prosecution for political purpose. But the city officials are still going after the McCloskeys. This week, Missouri Chief Disciplinary Counsel Alan Pratzel filed a motion with the Missouri Supreme Court to suspend the McCloskeys' law license, citing the couple's decision to plead guilty to the original misdemeanor charges brought against them by Gardner. Their guilty plea warrants discipline because they showed indifference to public safety. Okay. And involved moral turpitude by confronting the protesters outside their home. All right, I'm curious. What is moral turpitude? Because anytime somebody's on my property and I hold a firearm on them, I have every intention to end their fucking life unless they don't get off my property. A phrase that describes wicked, deviant behavior, immoral, unethical, or unjust departure from ordinary social standards such that it would shock a community. In criminal law, that sorts criminal activity into categories of crime. Wow. Like they're the worst of the worst for brandishing that firearm, huh? Kratzel also cited recent comments made by Mark McCloskey in which he said he was unapologetic for what happened last summer. Good, you should be. The prosecutor dropped every charge except for alleging that I purposely placed other people in imminent risk of physical injury. Right. And I sure as heck did, McCloskey said. That's what the guns were there for, and I'd do it again. Anytime the mob approaches me, I'll do what I can to place them in immediate threat of physical injury because that's what kept them from destroying my house and my family. I like the words, dude. You're in for the long haul. It looks like good fucking luck, dude, because they're coming after your ass. If nothing else, what happens to the McCloskeys might be a good representation of what's all going to happen to us. You know what I'm saying? Mark McCloskey is running for the U.S. Senate to replace Roy Blunt of Missouri, who plans to retire in 2022. Other GOP candidates running for the nomination include Representative Vicky Hartzler and Bill Long, Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt, and former Missouri Attorney General Eric Gridden. There's a lot of people running for it. Wisconsin special counsel spells out goals for 2020 election investigation. I don't know what there is in to investigate. Joe Biden won fair and square. I don't know why these people keep on going on. I do not question the results of the 2020 election. Joe Biden won 100%. He got the most votes of any U.S. president ever, even more than Barack Obama. And if you don't believe that, you're some sort of crazy. I don't understand. Let's see how long this is. Nope, not going to do it. The latest update on Wisconsin Assembly Speaker Robin Vos election investigation comes with a promise and a warning. Former state Supreme Court Justice Mike Gableman released a YouTube video on Monday explaining his investigation into last November. My job as a special counsel is to gather all relevant information, and while I draw on my own conclusions, my goal is to put everything I know and everything I learned before you so you can make up your own mind, Gableman said. But I think it's critical to know that if an obstruction of this office is an obstruction of each citizen's right to know whether all ballots were appropriately counted, that our elections were managed with fairness, inclusivity, and accountability. That'd be nice. I like free and fair elections. I like them a lot. I think they're the best. I think we should definitely have more of those. Gableman is collecting evidence as a part of two investigations in the assembly into how last year's elections happened. The other investigation is being run out of the Assembly Committee on Elections, led by Representative Janelle Branjet. Gableman said in his video that he's continuing to collect evidence, although he didn't say just what he's looking for. The purpose of the investigation is to determine what was supposed to happen in our elections and what did happen, to see what went well as to see what might have gone badly. If things did go wrong, we will submit recommendations for how problems should be addressed so voters can have complete confidence in our elections going forward. A search for the truth. His investigation will be driven by a search for the truth and not for the political priorities and political timetables, which means it's probably going to go for a while. Gableman last week sent a letter to Wisconsin's almost 2,000 election clerks asking them to preserve any and all data from their voting machines. Milwaukee and Dane County clerks have already said that they will not turn that evidence over to Gableman. In Monday's video, he hinted that subpoenas may be coming for that information. Gableman also tried to spell out the goal of his investigation and dismissed the notion that he is somehow trying to show that President Trump was right on something at any time of his presidency. This is not an election contest. We are not challenging the results. Rather, we are holding government officials accountable for the public for their actions surrounding what happened. We'll see. Now, getting on to the Discord, we had a couple stories, I believe, or one. Yeah, I believe this one is from Riddle. Yeah. Amazon is lobbying the U.S. government to make pot legal. Interesting. Why Amazon would be doing that. Amazon is actively lobbying the United States, probably because they want to get into the shipping of it. Yeah, they want to legalize cannabis. Given our previous support for legalizing cannabis at the federal level, as well as expunging certain criminal records and investing in impacted businesses and communities, Amazon recently announced our support for and began actively lobbying on the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement Act of 2021, or the MORE Act. The company said, "We are also pleased to endorse the recently introduced Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act. Both bills aim to remove cannabis from the federal list of Scheduled 1 drugs, which includes LSD and heroin, and enable some level of national legalization." Amazon's first announced support for federal cannabis legislation back in June. At the same time, Amazon customer CEO David Clark said the company would no longer screen potential employees for cannabis use as a condition of hiring. In the past, like many employers, we've disqualified people from working at Amazon if they tested positive for marijuana. However, given we are where state laws are moving across the U.S., we've changed course. Amazon's warehouse employees, which makes up the majority of Amazon's vast workforce, have notoriously high turnover rate at the company, around 150%, according to New York Times. Yeah, I hear a lot of people off themselves there. Hiring new employees to replace outgoing ones is a big enough problem that some Amazon executives worry the company will run out of hireable Americans. Oh, gotta love hireable. Notably, Amazon said on Tuesday that part of the reason it's pushing for legalization is to make hiring a bit easier. We found that eliminating pre-employment testing for cannabis allows us to expand our applicant pool. I would imagine a lot of people smoke. Yeah. Amazon has already spent at least $5 million on lobbying efforts, according to records reviewed by Insider, alongside 160 other groups that lobbied the government in favor of legal cannabis in the second quarter of 2021. Well, I think it's a good thing. I think that cannabis has a lot of medicinal properties, not just pain relief. And I think one of the reasons why it's been illegal for so long is the lobbying on Big Pharma's part. Can you imagine if it was legal and it was not even looked down upon that much? People could do more studying on the effects of it, things like that. Well, I mean, we had like 6 or 7 people here at one time. Only Riddle chatted the entire time. So I don't know if y'all are from YouTube just checking up on me or what. But thank you very much for watching. Before we get off of here, there are links in the descriptions below. If this is your first time checking me out, go check them out. We have all the causes I believe in and support. So if you need a cause to believe in and support, these are the ones I recommend. We have the pH Association. That's the disease that I currently live with and am dying of. Maybe cannabis might be a cure. Probably not. But you never know. Maybe they'll look into it. There's a cause that's close and dear to my heart. We also have the GOA, Gun Owners of America, that are doing the legal thing to, try to preserve your gun rights. We have ProjectRecover.org, an organization that looks for lost service members and returns their remains to their families. And then we have my favorite is Rally Point Irish. My good friend Irish USMC vet has got a GoFundMe set up where he's trying to raise funds in order to buy some land in Tennessee where veterans can stay room and board free while learning new skills like farming and blacksmithing, computer programming, a few other things we got in the works. Even Riddle has been talking about classes that she could help out with, and she's pretty darn smart. So I'm really hoping that takes off. I donate 50% of all proceeds that my channel makes to that. There are ways to donate to the channel if you want. Just know that 50% does go to Rally Point Irish. If you want to help support the channel without using any of your own money, there's a couple ways of doing it. Subscribe, comment. The biggest one is sharing. on YouTube, and the other one is buying affiliate merch down there. We have a few items that I have personally bought and I really like myself and that I recommend. And if you go down there and you see the affiliate or the Amazon links or whatever, and you see something you like and you buy it, not only does it tell them that I'm worth keeping around as an affiliate, but I might get a kickback from it. I don't know how much. I just set it. Well, Riddle just set it up. I didn't set up shit. So Riddle just set that up not too long ago. Other than that, all the places to follow me, I did just get it 2 strikes in 1 day, yet I'm still on strike 2. I don't understand how that works because I was already on strike 2 before the day even started, and then I got 2 strikes today, and I'm still on strike 2. I've appealed one. I have to appeal the other one. I just kind of got disheartened and just decided forget it. And then come into a chat that is just Riddle. So the day is continuing on. Let's just say that. Now, in about an hour and 20 minutes, we're going to be doing the Patriot Bible chat where we're going to be continuing on the Revelation seminar with Pastor Lee Vinden. It's a video series. I hope to see a lot of y'all there. Yeah, and that's about it. So, without any further ado, thank you all for coming and checking me out for whatever reason. And if you liked it, don't forget to leave a like on the video. Until I see you either later tonight or ever, make sure to keep that family close. Watch out for that government. Try to live as free as you can in the tyrannical world we find ourselves living in, and take it easy.